Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Michael Parkinson.
Thank you. Good evening and welcome. I was to have presented this ceremony with Jill Dando. A death casts a long shadow over tonight's events, but I'm sure you would want me, on your behalf, to express to Jill's family and those who were closest to her and loved her the most our sympathy and our profound sadness. Now, Jill was a good-natured and a good-humoured woman, and perhaps tonight we can best serve her memory by observing those qualities in our programme. When we met to discuss how to approach working together, we agreed that the problem was best summed up by the American talk show host Johnny Carson. He introduced the Academy Awards by saying, "Welcome to the only 2-hour show that lasts 4 hours." Well, that's the problem. And Jill said, if that is the problem, best we are brisk and businesslike. Well, that was music to my ears. And if that's the way she wants it, then so be it. That being the case, it's time now for the presenters to get ready. The men should heed the advice of Sir Alec Guinness, who said before going on stage, actors should first cough and then check their flies. In the light of what happened just recently, I suggest the women presenters might cough, then check their armpits. Now, some story. As far as I know, an underarm crisis is one of the few human problems not to have been addressed yet by the soaps, but give them time. I only mention the fact because our first award is welcome and long overdue, and it's the recognition by the British Academy that soaps indeed exist. It's taken them a while. To make the presentation of the very first Best Soap Award, please welcome someone who I'm betting will be both properly zipped and shaved in all the right places. From the other half, Dale Winton.
Thank you, Michael. I am properly zipped and I am shaved, but not nearly as fragrant as your good self tonight. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm so pleased to be here tonight presenting this award, and I'll tell you why. Because I have loved the soaps for years. In fact, set me down in front of a telly with a vanilla slice, a pot of tea, and I will do 3 hours of Neighbours, EastEnders, Corrie, the lot. I am so emotionally stretched at the moment, I cannot tell you. But I'm as happy as Alex Ferguson is tonight. 1-0. Breaks my heart, I'm a gooner, what can I tell you? Anyway, on with the nominations. They are Phil Redmond for Brookside, Carolyn Reynolds and David Hanson for Coronation Street, for EastEnders, Matthew Robinson, and Hollyoaks, Phil Redmond and Joe Hallows.
All right.
And the winner is EastEnders, Matthew Robinson.
EastEnders was created by the late Julia Smith.
Some good and talented people, though. We should also remember Dirk Bogarde, who sadly died the other day, a fine actor and a great writer. The last image is the one that lingers, and it will do so for a long time to come. We all remember Jill Dando, and we all miss her. No one more than I did tonight. Thank you for joining us. Congratulations to the winners and all the nominees. And to those who leave empty-handed, console yourselves with this thought. It's still better than working for a living. Good night.
Gold in tonight's British Academy Television Awards have paid tribute to Jill Dando by observing a minute's silence in her memory. She was to have co-presented the event with Michael Parkinson. Instead, he hosted the awards ceremony alone and led the tributes to her.
The stars arrived at London's Grosvenor House for one of the television industry's biggest nights. The glamorous, the powerful, the famous, and the would-be famous. But the discreet extra security in the wake of Jill Dando's murder was a reminder that it was a night tinged with sadness. Stars present and past of EastEnders were there to celebrate the programme's win in the first ever Academy Award for Best Soap Opera. It was one of more than 20 awards for the BBC. ITV, by contrast, picked up 5, including a special award for Trevor MacDonald.
He was awarded that OBE.
Michael Parkinson, the evening's presenter, won an award himself and used his acceptance speech to pay tribute to Jill Dando, who was to have presented the awards with him.
Jill had a bet with me when the nominations were made at BAFTA, and she said, I'm going to present you with this, and I didn't believe her. God bless her.
Earlier, before the ceremony began, guests had observed a minute's silence in her memory. And backstage, there were further tributes from friends and colleagues.
The fact was, of the people that I've ever met in the business, she was probably one of the most genuine and nicest people in the business. Absolutely. Totally unambitious, it seemed to me, but was just successful because she was good at it.
It was a night for remembering the departed. Morecambe and Wise were awarded a posthumous fellowship of the Academy. Channel 4's 5 awards included 2 for Father Ted and its late star Dermot Morgan. But it was Jill Dando's face that brought the ceremony to a close, her name that was on many minds here tonight. Nick Hyam, BBC News, at the Grosvenor House Hotel in London.
And the main news tonight.